Hey there, folks, yours truly back for another Let's Play. The game in question is Hearts of Iron 2 Armageddon. Now, let's actually look at what we can play as. Doomsday Campaign, Hypothetical World War III. This was in the original expansion pack for Hearts of Iron 2 Doomsday. Armageddon the Abyss. These are two new things from Armageddon. To be honest, they're not that great. I mean, if you like, it's pretty much Risk, to be honest. It's not that fun. The Road to War. This has happened right about the time of the Rhineland occupation. Gathering Storm. This happened during the Munich conference, so you play as the Czechs, you're kind of screwed. Blitzkrieg. 1939, the start of World War II. Play as Poland, you're hosed. Awakening the Giant. This happened right before Pearl Harbor, so as Japan, you could choose to do Pearl Harbor or not to do Pearl Harbor. That doth beeth the question. Galtomarong. This is 2 weeks after the D-Day landings. Pretty much, if you play as Germany, there's a chance you could win. If you're a really good player, you could still win this. But more likely than not, you're not gonna. And then there's these limited campaigns, such as the Ardennes Offensive. Basically, they're very limited in the scale. Instead of playing as the entire freaking planet, you only choose limited areas, and you choose between certain factions. Desert Fox, Rommel in Africa. That's pretty much when the Africa Corps decided to help the Italians who were floundering because of Mussolini's really retarded decision. Barbarossa, which I skipped because I'm a tard. Invasion of Russia, self-explanatory. Battle of the Coral Sea. This is when Japan pretty much had free reign in the Pacific. Like, if they took Australia, pretty much the war effort was fucked in the Pacific. Operation Downfall, the invasion of Japan, pretty much a what if. Instead of actually bombing the living shit out of Japan like we did historically, we could have chosen to invade instead. In fact, it was actually suggested by MacArthur to do that instead, but it never happened. Well, it does in this version anyway. D-Day, the liberation of Europe. Any World War II era strategy game worth its salt will have that. So, yeah. Fall Blau. This has happened. This is the attempt by the Germans to take the oil fields down here in the Caucasus, and it's pretty much up to the Russians to stop them. You could all do all sorts of horrifying things with history if you win there. For some reason, they repeat Barbarossa. This was originally a different campaign, I think. I don't know. Fall Gelb, the invasion of France, 1940s. You could try to stop them as the French or the British, although good luck. Like, the Germans are actually pretty hard there. Fall Grun, this is another what if. What if the Czechs actually grew some balls and told the Germans to fuck off? Well, most likely they would have been eaten, but there's a chance they might not have. Fall Weiss, the invasion of Poland. Same thing. What if the Polish somehow, theoretically, by some miracle to God, managed to defeat the Germans somehow? Operation Husky, the invasion of Italy. Basically, yeah, it's the invasion of Italy. It's not really that impressive. The Platinian War. The Platinian War is an interesting war. It actually did happen. It was a set of limited engagements by the British, wait, not British, the Brazilians and the Argentines. Pretty much, yeah, the Argentinians sort of supported the Axis while the British supported the Allies. Why do I call the Brazilians British? The British supported the British. Of course they would. Brazilians supported the British and the Allies. So, yeah, it was a set of minor ideological wars. The Spanish Civil War, probably the best in this entire set of limited campaigns, and probably the only ones I could pronounce without failing like a tard. You could choose to play as the Nationalists, the Republicans, and I think if you release the Basque state, there's a chance you can. You might be able to play as them, I don't know. Southern Conquests. This pretty much happened after Pearl Harbor, so yeah, this is a Japanese attempt to steal all of these islands. Operation Watchtower, right after Midway, actually. The Japanese were trying to regain their steam, but historically the Allies were able to kick their ass. Well, not really kick their ass, but hold them off. And finally, the Winter War, when the Russians spectacularly failed against the Finnish, to the point where the Finnish, although still losing the war, bragged that it kicked Russia in the testicles. So hard that their descendants could feel it. Well, anyway, let's actually play a game instead of listening to me talk and call the Brazilians British. And I decided, as you can tell, I already chose my campaign. One more thing before I do play, though. right click and you could choose whatever country you want. So you could play countries that, like Ethiopia where you could die, or what's another country? This country which kind of existed at the time, or this country which sucks ass. So yeah. Well, anyway, no, I'm not playing as the Brazilians, or should I say British. I'm playing as Canada for several good reasons. It's a minor power, but even though it is a minor power, it's a very good one because of the fact that it's relatively isolated, has decent research capabilities. So basically, it's a very good even level game to play as, actually. So will I be able to help the Allies in the eventual attack up by Germany, or will history or the Germans somehow kick us in the testicles? Find out next time on Hearts of Iron 2. This is yours truly signing off. Have a great day, YouTube.